We shall look at the Microsoft. Okay, but first we have to look at the fear and greed. Okay, we have to look at the fear and greed. Now, this is going to end up going to extreme greed. Okay, we're going to have an extreme greed marketplace soon. Soon. Okay, but I do think there could be a pullback on the way. I really do, but I don't know if it's here. I don't know. I don't know when. All right, but I do believe in these next 2 to 3 months. This is why you have to pay attention to these live streams right now because it's so important. Okay, it's so important. We're gonna have so much bullish moves, so many bullish things, and we've been talking about this for some time now. Like this isn't a new concept. This is not a new concept. Okay, on the dips we're bullish. On the highs we're bullish. We buy high and we sell higher. All right. But I will say, you look at the put and calls, this is way low. We just had a steep downfall, okay? This is where a lot of people wanted to go bearish. I was coming on here telling you it's super bullish. This is at 1. This was at tariff highs, okay? Now we're all the way back down, which we should. I mean, we went on an insane rally. And I think this should just really consolidate. I don't even think this is going to matter as much. It's kind of just going to be like how we had, like, I don't, you guys can't see this part, but this was April tariffs as well, back here like a year ago. And it was at 1. And then what happened is we had a steep downfall, and then, it just kind of consolidated as we went to the upside, okay? And then we had that October downfall, November, etc. But I think it's just going to consolidate. I don't think it's going to matter as much. But yeah, I do want to look at some setups, okay? I do want to look at some sleepers in the market. We know about the Mag 7. We know about, we know the market's going much higher. This should just be easy pickings for a lot of you guys, okay? It should just be easy pickings. Unless you're bearish, unless you still want to be bearish for some odd reason, in the most bullish period, in the euphoric period, okay? If you miss this insane rally, I understand why you want to be bearish. I mean, this is a $100 move, but don't worry, we have another $100 move coming, okay? There's another $100 move coming on the Qs, okay? There's another $100 move. I'm not really gonna look at the Nasdaq right here. Like I think we're gonna end up, maybe getting to 685, and then maybe retesting the all-time high that we have right here. I think we still have one more leg to the upside. We'll have to see, okay? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm mainly interested in longer term setups, okay? I'm mainly interested in some of these longer term setups, okay? We got TSM, PLTR paid. So yeah, we had a decent week so far. Decent week so far. But anyways, put the couch of stocks you guys want to look at. We shall look at them. Let's look at Microsoft. Since my boy want to look at Microsoft, we'll look at Microsoft really fast. As you guys know, this is going on an insane rally. Okay, just an insane rally. Software, obviously came back. And the thing that I'm paying attention to the most coming into next week is the fact that we have FOMC, right? FOMC, Powell is going to come on there, I think Wednesday. And then also you have earnings. You have Mag 7 earnings. You have Microsoft. I think Google is reporting. I think Amazon is reporting. Nvidia is not reporting, but I think Meta is reporting. So there's huge earnings coming in the next week. So I don't really want to take too much time looking at some of these Mag 7 stocks, because we don't know. Like it's a coin flip. Like we don't know. Okay, and if you didn't get in at 370 and watch it cook up to 430, I mean yeah. But it does look like a pullback, was the obvious move on this rally that you have right here. I mean, this thing was hidden bear divergence. I wish I would have saw this coming in. I wasn't really paying attention to Microsoft. I was in other things, but yeah, this is hidden bear diverging. Maybe come in the morning, maybe it looks a bit different, but I think this can easily come back down to maybe 423. I'd see what happens there, but what you have to realize is that these stocks that people want to short, you just really can't right now, right? Like it has earnings next week. You have FOMC next week. It's kind of, we've kind of really just been chopping if you really look at it. Okay, we broke out a little bit, but I think we could just come right back down and chop inside of it. I mean, the reason being is because we have massive earnings coming in next week. We have FOMC coming in next week, and that's ultimately, I believe, going to end up picking the direction. I don't think a pullback is on the way yet, but we'll have to see. Okay, but we know the market goes much higher, right? We know the Qs gets to 750. We know SPY is going to end up getting 800. Okay, so it's really just about getting some good dips on some good stocks, and I don't think Microsoft. I think you're kind of late. It tuned me in late. What's up, Wam? I think we there. You're not late. We just started, but let's run the likes up. Put in the comments of stocks you guys want to look at. We'll look at Lemonade. My boy want to look at Lemonade. We'll look at Lemonade. Lemonade. I like right here is where it actually needs to hold above where you're seeing at 66.78. It needs to hold above there. Um, and the reason it needs to hold above there, that's literally the fib area. And right now it's closing below it. It's closing below it. Okay, so it needs to break above. It needs to break above 66.78. That's the main level. And this is a small cap stock that has earnings in 7 days as well. So I'm not that interested. What and the reason being why I'm not interested in Lemonade or stocks that have earnings coming up is because like we don't know first of all, and second of all, like they like playing around with the price action when there's some earnings going on. Okay, the price action gets funky. The price action gets funky. But I will tell you, man. Somebody said, put in the comments of stocks you guys look at. MSTR is going to do some very nasty things, okay? Oracle has earnings in 55 days. I like it. I like it. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. And I believe IGV actually just put this in its main holdings, okay? Like I think this is the highest rated, the highest percent stock in the software stock. And the thing that that we preached so long ago was the hidden weekly divergence that we were getting right here. Okay, so these hidden weekly divergences, I'm gonna just tell you guys, like, if we know this is going higher, just like I said, we know the market's going much higher, but how much higher? The only thing to pay attention to for this is because it's been playing out so well with the weekly divergences. I mean, it literally played out right here from here, and you had this massive rally, right? It's gonna play out again right here from here. But what ended up happening at the peak of each is actually a negative divergence. Okay, so I think this can end up, coming up to 72ish, and seeing what's going to end up happening from there. But in terms of price targets, I think this is in a price target. Yeah, like this 190. It hit a target. Okay, so you don't want to be a victim either. Okay, this is why I don't want to come on like we know we go higher, but if you're not looking to buy like some August 200, if you don't have the deep bag to buy some August $200 Oracle calls and just swing them and just not really caring, average into them, you don't have that deep bag, then I don't want to sit on here and be super mega bullish and you end up getting some Friday calls. I'm assuming most of you guys are smarter than that. I'm assuming most of you guys are smarter than that. You're not gonna come in here and get some weekly calls on Oracle inside of a rejection area. I'm assuming you guys are smarter than that. So the next level, the next target is to 196 if it can break back above 190, and then you have 205, etc. Okay, but like I said, this weekly hidden divergence should play out. I think Oracle has a larger move to the upside that's going to end up happening. Even on a monthly time frame, you have a hidden monthly divergence. Okay, I believe a huge move for Oracle is going to continue to play out. Okay, but it already made a huge move, right? From 136 to 190, right? It made a $45 move, right? So if you don't have the D bag to get some 190, some 190s, some 190s or something, this thing is giving you a pullback based on some negative divergence, some negative 4-hour divergence that you have right here. Okay. So maybe getting in at the dip at 178. Maybe getting in at the dip at 178, which would make a whole lot of sense because, like I said, when you have this many things happening, in the next week, I think ceasefire ends in like 3 to 5 days, and then you have FOMC, and then you have all these Mag 7 earnings, and it's coming off of a massive squeeze that we've had since the beginning of April, right? Like don't be confused if this just goes back down and chops right here, right? And then once the FOMC and everything comes in, then you get that move to 680. But that's what you should be paying attention to, okay? And this is why inside of WOM, like I'm focusing on these longer swings because some of you guys remember last year, like the same time period last year, I was just looking at swings. Like we got into Robinhood, we clicked on Robinhood, SoFi. Like there's so many great swings. And that was the moneymaker. Like, this is where you make money just easily. The only way you're going to end up losing money and not doing as well as some others is if you're trying to sit here and, like, day trade. Like, if you're trying to sit here and day trade, $2 moves, when like if you're like you coming over here trying to day trade GFS for example, and it made a $2 move, you made some profits, right? And then you sold out of all of it, and then the next month's whatever this thing is sitting at $100, and you could have just ended up getting some swings for it. You understand? Like you're putting a lot of mental power into stuff that doesn't need to be mental. Like there's no mental workload inside of this market that we have right now. Really, you just want to be patient. Okay, it was the reverse. Okay, it was the reverse. Some of you guys remember, right here. This is actually where you wanted to be trading because there wasn't really that many stocks just pushing, booming to the upside. It was more so it goes up, it goes back down. It's volatile, upside, downside, etc. Okay, but right now we're in a strictly uptrend, kind of like what we saw the last time right here. Okay, so yeah, sure. This is where you wanted to trade at, etc. Make some good moves, but this is actually where you want to be there for the bigger moves that are gonna play out. Okay. But anyways, MU is my favorite stock. We'll look at MU. GLD is about to shock the world. BHP about the moonshot. Would you hold MSTR 165 6 June 18th calls over the next few weeks? Um, I would say yeah because I think Bitcoin. I think the euphorium is the euphoric move inside the market is the quickest move to take place, and right now we're in pure euphoria. Okay, so I think what's gonna end up happening is that's gonna be a very quick move. Okay, and crypto is currently the most undervalued sector in my opinion, meaning it has the most reward, and I would say even the less risk. Okay, meaning the like we okay when the Nasdaq was at all time highs, okay, when it was pushing to all time highs, like we know when it was pushing all time highs back here in like April, and then it made an all time high in what June, made an all time high in June. Bitcoin was right here, and then when the Qs made an all time high, guess what Bitcoin did? It made new all time highs to 120K. Okay, so Bitcoin is actually and crypto is actually lagging. Okay, it's lagging. It's lagging. So I think crypto actually has the most explosive move loading. When I don't know. Maybe these next couple of weeks, maybe the next month. And that's why I say you want to. This is where you want to buy time and just kind of be patient on a lot of these things because it could happen tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I like MSTR. Maybe I'll get some longer dated calls, but I think June is plenty. I think June is plenty. Um, Iron is going absolutely crazy. Okay, um, but I will say, let's see, is it in a victim area? Let's see, man. Yeah, it's almost at that victim level. Okay, so I don't quite have an opinion until it can break above this victim level. Okay, and start even consolidating, maybe even get that next leg because the next leg is to 62, and then above that victim level, you really want a weekly close above 51, and then you can start retesting all time highs. But and Iron is actually I think they do some things with Bitcoin as well. So maybe this could be a good one. But this thing was at 30 31 and went all the way to 50. You know I you know and you're actually getting some massive. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Explosive move down. I mean, this is victim area, okay? You don't want to. This is victim area. This is victim area, okay? And some of you guys remember the last time we talked about the victim area on Iron, right? Some of you guys remember. Some of you guys remember. All you got to do is this, and we're like, oh, if it doesn't get a weekly close above the victim area, which was $60, you do not want to go long right here. And I actually seen so many people going long right here in the victim area, okay? So you got to be cautious on those victim areas, okay? These two levels on Iron, they're victim, okay? This is where bulls get trapped. This is where the dumb money comes in. The people who are scared to buy the dips, but are confident when they see those green candles, okay? This is where they get in at, okay? You don't want to be that person. You'd rather like a $2 move isn't even that much to miss, is what I'm saying. Okay, like if you were to wait for the $2, if you didn't get in anything right here, you were to wait for the $2 move, wait for a weekly close above $50, you wouldn't really even miss anything. Okay, because this has a much larger move to 60, and then above 60, this thing is going to 100 plus. Okay, so I would wait for something like that personally. But I will say massive weekly hidden divergence. Like I said, we're in a massive euphoric market. Okay, there's not much that you're gonna. There's not if you're just getting into calls for a month, 2 months out on some of these things. Like there's absolutely no way you don't make money. Let me stop. 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 Okay. But that's the type of market I believe we're entering into. Okay. Or we've already kind of entered. Okay. We entered. You know, we've been new this. Okay. We've been talking about this. Before the peace talks with Iran. But huge weekly divergence. Like the RSI is lower than it was back when this was $11. Okay. But now it's trading at almost 50. Okay. So I think this actually does have a larger move in store. But like I said, pay attention to those victim levels. And I mean, it makes sense overall. This is even sitting at the bull flag rejection. Like a lot of confluence is showing that this is in a rejection. But um, like I said, if you have a deep bag, I would just get some July $50 calls and call it a day, and live with the results. That's what I personally would do. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. What should we invest for now, please? I really like GFS. Okay, GFS. If you don't know, do your research. I think this can easily get to 80 and maybe even 110. This is a semiconductor, and they also do what is it? What is it that AXTI does? They do phototronics. They're huge, and they're like Intel. They literally just produce in America. So I think GFS has huge bids heading its way. I think you can easily get to 110. If you're in the Discord, don't worry, we already got in it. We're already up. But I like MX as well, just for like a nice little lotto. Okay, some of you guys know, but I'm not saying you should invest in this, but BMNR is another good one. When crypto runs, like I don't know when crypto's gonna run, right? But when crypto does run, BMNR should catch some bids. AXTI, we got an AXTI when it was what, like $21. Now it's sitting at almost like 100. Okay, we got into it back here. This is where we were saying we're gonna enter it into. Okay, this is where we got in February, and this is what I mean. These are the stocks that, like I said, if we're in a bull market, we're in a massive bull market. Okay, so instead of scalping for pennies, you just want to make sure you're holding. You just want to make sure you're holding some of these good stocks, because I don't even want to explain it. Like, it should just be obvious at this point, okay? I have to explain it in bear markets, right? Like, or not even a bear market. Like when we have a pullback, like I feel like I gotta explain it to some of you guys because you get scared. But at this point, like, you should not be scared. Like, it's just obvious now. It's just obvious. You should be looking for undervalued sectors. You should be looking for a lot of small cap, like higher risk assets. A lot of money will get rotated into those, and they pump a whole lot. Okay, like AXTI, we got into this at like 1 billion, and it's at 5 billion, but it was $20. Now it's at like 100. Okay, so MX I think could be the same. It's like a South Korea semiconductor. They're the only one on the Nasdaq. South Korea is currently going through a massive bull trend. Like everybody's bulled up there. And I think money could easily flow into something that's $159 million market cap. Okay, it just is. It just is. Okay. And the funny thing is, never mind. Anyways, let's move on. Pete, what's up, Pete? I'm weak. Yo, all right. MU. This is one of my most bullish stocks. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, but this is one of my most bullish stocks. This is one of my most bullish stocks. Okay, I think MU. I think MU is $1,000 stock. I think it's in $1 trillion market cap stock. I think it's an easy long every single time. March 31st. Okay, March 31st. I said the most euphoric stock in the most bullish sector is given the biggest correction in an entire year, and people were scared to buy. I actually made over 20,000 on MU. Okay, I made 20,000 on MU buying this dip back at like 337. And the target was 571. So I think MU, the target is still 571. I actually think it can start inching to 800 plus, because I think this could be $1 trillion market cap stock. Okay, I think this. I think I don't even look. I think this is going to be $1 trillion market cap stock. Okay, I think they're very bullish, and it even. Some of you guys remember when I went live, like talking about this. Some of you guys remember when I went live and I was like, is it really gonna be this easy, man? Like, is it really this easy? And it was that easy, okay? It was that easy. Hidden weekly divergence. The RSI was, and it hasn't even really caught up. Like, it hasn't really even got to these 80 plus, which is what it gets to when it starts topping out a little bit, okay? So this still has a lot of room to go to the upside, okay? I love MU. I think you should be very bullish on MU. Now, would I be bullish on it after a $40 day? You know, like, like I'd at least try to wait for a pullback, although it probably won't give you it. But yeah, I like it. What is your RSI set to? I have no idea what it's set to. It's just like the regular settings. I can go to settings. I, I can go to settings on it, but like I actually don't even know how. Yeah, I don't know how, bro. I don't know how. I don't know how. But it's just the regular settings. I took off everything except this line. He said, "What's funny? I bought MU ONDS. I knew you were in it today when it ran up. Literally thought of you." uh, ONDS. Let's look at ONDS, man. Let's look at ONDS. Oh, appreciate the hearts. Appreciate the hearts. $5 billion market cap stock. Which drone stock is better? I'm not really a fan, but like I said, we're in an extreme bull market. Everything is going to end up going up. Um, I think this needs to get back above 1250 before I'm really interested in it, because that's the level that will really take it to $20 plus. Okay, but these setups we've seen so many times. We've seen these setups play out so many times. And what happens with each and every one of these setups? Okay, no exaggeration. They usually always get to their 1.618 and sometimes even their 3.618 around $56. So I think ONDS has a large move, and like and like we look at this stuff, man, and it's like these hidden weekly divergences are popping up, meaning it has a much higher move to go to the upside, and the move is going to be extended, okay? Meaning it might not happen this week, it might not happen the week after that, it might happen like in a month or two where this is going to see like $25, okay? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You will thank me later if you buy some of these stocks and you just hold them, okay? And you buy like some August $12 ONDS calls, and you just hold them, okay? This is gonna be an easy period. It's already been an easy period all of April. Okay, now what I'm really waiting for is maybe like a nice pullback. Maybe we get a nice leg up to 680, and then we get a pullback. Like I'm waiting for some sort of pullback because I know the Qs is gonna end up getting a 750 plus. You understand? And I know some of these small caps are gonna end up going crazy. We're in peak. We haven't even hit. Anyways, GFS already moving good. Yeah, I love GFS. I think it's really good. What do you think about SPY being green and USO also going up still? I don't think it. I don't think it really. I don't think. I wouldn't really even focus on that. Okay, I wouldn't really focus on that because it's noise, in my opinion. Because it's noise. I would mainly focus on looking for some of these dips on some of these stocks that we know are gonna go higher. Okay, USO, it's going up, but I think they're gonna end up having a deal and then it's gonna drop. Like this thing kind of already like, you know, and it's at actually a rejection level at 131. It really needs to start holding above 131. It really needs to start holding above 131 for it to even start retesting all-time highs. But I actually hope there's some sort of dip. Okay, I want to get some better buys. The real question is when 900 SPY. I'm weak. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Been live for 20 minutes. This is usually where I clock out. But link in the bio if you need anything. We have been going absolutely crazy. Make sure you like this video. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Let's make some money tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.